In San Diego, the first Charger to step on the field is only the second player of Dominican descent to be drafted and start in the NFL. But for Luis Castillo, being a Dominican defensive end is a career choice that has often come under fire.
That's the question I always get is, why not baseball? I guess I could say I couldn't hit a curveball. It's kind of some of the things that the baseball players joke around. Why? They all know there's a Dominican that plays football, but they don't understand why he's there. And sometimes they don't really know who he is. And when they get to meet me, they're like, "Oh, you're the crazy guy that actually does that for a living?"
Where you going? Nowhere!
I just love the intensity of the game. And the example my mom laid out was, when you love something, put your whole heart into it, dedicate yourself completely, and that was always the approach for me.
Ain't nothing like it, baby. Ain't nothing like it in the world. Ain't nothing like it.
Love, dedication, and honesty. These are the simple virtues of Maria Castillo's life. They are qualities that cost nothing to possess, which is fortunate because Luis Castillo's mother began her life with little else.
She grew up in a little village in the Dominican Republic. No running water, no electricity, no schools. The house was, it was, clay floors and just a one-room house with 8 kids, and grew up really, really poor.
Maria's work ethic was instilled by her father, a laborer in the local tobacco fields. Driven to build a better life for herself, Maria traveled to America. Shortly after arriving, Maria welcomed her son, Luis, into her life. Luis's father did not.
Luis never knew his father. We do not have a good relationship. He was never a part of Luis' life. We got by without him, and here we are.
Aquí estamos.
Maria supported herself and Luis by selling hair care products door to door in the New York City area. While Maria was busy doing everything she could to make ends meet, her son was busy doing nothing at all.
It's kind of funny now, but I didn't do much. I was a lazy kid. I'd come home, I'd eat, I'd watch TV, and that was her frustration, is that she just wanted me to do something. And it was tough for her because as much as I saw that example in my mother, I still needed something to have passion about. And she just wanted to get me involved in a sport.
The first sport I put him in was baseball. After a week, he told me, "This is not what I want to do. I want something faster, something harder." So I asked him what he wanted to play, and he told me football.
Football fostered a new family for Luis. An only child now had a team full of brothers. A fatherless boy finally found a role model.
Set, hut! On the movement, on the movement.
I needed that influence. I needed somebody to push me in a way that I'd never been pushed before. And Steve Mucha, my high school coach, was really the first person to ever do that for me.
Come on, hut!
Steve Mucha is a special person to Luis because he's the father Luis never had. He's the only masculine figure in Luis' life. He was always by our side.
Use his body to spin off of.
He was a very important person.
He was just a kid that wanted to be involved in a lot of things in school. He's a 3-sport athlete, played football, played track, and also was a wrestler. He was honor society, was involved with student government, and now gets an athletic scholarship. He's going to Northwestern. That was outstanding. This place went crazy. Garfield went nuts.
At Northwestern, Luis became an academic All-American while earning a degree in economics. On the football field, he developed into one of the most sought-after defensive linemen in the country.
With the 28th selection in the
But when his name was called at the 2005 NFL Draft,
select Luis Castillo.
It was followed by controversy.
When the Chargers picked me, that's when I started hearing the negative talk. I think there was a show on ESPN or something, and there was a couple current players on there, and some things were said, and And that's when I realized this was something I was going to have to battle.
News broke that Luis had tested positive for steroids. The test had been administered at the NFL Combine, the same combine where Luis wowed scouts with his strength and speed. His results were surprising, considering Castillo had torn a ligament in his left elbow 6 months earlier, an injury that ultimately led to an unfortunate decision.
I'm working, I'm training, I'm doing this rehab, I'm trying to get in the weight room and trying to get back everything that I'd lost from spending 4 or 5 months without being able to do anything. And it was just going so slow. And the only thing I could think about was getting myself to a place where when the combine came around, when all these scouts came looking, I'd be in top shape. And unfortunately, I made a mistake. I made a decision to do something that I'd regret, and it was something that you're on the verge of doing what you've always dreamt of, and you feel like you're not at a point where you're going to show your best. It scares you. And I remember just tearing up, crying, because I was just so worried about what I'd done and what was going to happen.
Castillo's timing only complicated things. Steroid use in sports was dominating the headlines as allegations against pro athletes swirled all the way to Capitol Hill. News of an NFL hopeful bettering his odds by cheating the system was not the story Maria Castillo wanted written about her son.
I knew that the media was going to make it into a big scandal, so I told Luis to just tell the truth. Admit your mistake and tell everyone why you did what you did. And that's exactly what Luis did.
The truth was typed up in a letter and sent to every NFL team. It was both a confession of Castillo's mistake and a reaffirmation of his character. And it was signed with a promise. A pledge to forfeit his entire signing bonus if he ever failed an NFL drug test.
If you're willing to fork over your whole signing bonus to prove that you're never going to make a mistake again, then that tells a lot for his character.
That display of character ultimately convinced the Chargers to draft Castillo.
You know, when San Diego called and they said, you know what, we're going to give you the opportunity to be a San Diego Charger, and we're going to give you the opportunity to prove yourself as a player, to prove yourself as a person, and to prove that you made a mistake, but you'll bounce back. It was just the greatest feeling.
The Chargers' faith in Castillo was immediately rewarded.
Yeah, oh, it's going to be a great one, baby. Oh, it's going to be a great one. Let's go.
In his rookie season, San Diego went on to become the NFL's #1 run defense. 2005 also provided the most memorable game of Castillo's young career. A Week 8 showdown with Trent Green.
To have a chance to play against a guy that had some negative things to say fired me up, and it was just one of those, man, where it was fun getting after it, and for so many reasons.
And here comes a rush. Down goes Trent Green at the 20-yard line. How about Luis Castillo, the rookie out of Northwestern?
I think he's quieted all his doubters and the people that are whispering things about him, you know, and showing everybody that, okay, this is the real Luis Castillo. You know, this is the guy that came in and didn't ask for anything, didn't want anything. He went out and earned everything that he got.
Shotgun for Culpepper, rolls a pocket right, and he's drifted down. Luis Castillo threw him backwards to the 15-yard line.
In the stands or at home, Maria never misses a game and never stops being a mom.
Que yo tenía el zapato de él. ¿No te recuerdas de eso?
Yo me recuerdo de
Dice que parece que tú me quedaste bien, que lo devolví el zapato.
Shoes are just the beginning of what Luis has given back.
Like every time I talk to him, I'm like, where you at? I'm on my way to the parent. I'm on my way to go meet some kids. I'm on my way to Mexico to do a camp, you know, but that's just the kind of guy he is. He's the only Dominican football player in the league. You know, that's huge in itself. I don't think there's any bigger star in the Latino community than Lou is. I mean, he's done just a tremendous job just being a good role model to kids.
Hey, my man. Yeah!
It makes me so happy to see Luis set an example for Spanish children. That yes, you can do it. Even you grow up without a father like Luis did. The truth is anything's possible.
Mi amor, buenas tardes.
Maria Castillo speaks from experience.
Sí.
Her company, Mimor, imports hair and beauty products from the Dominican Republic and distributes them across the United States. What was once a door-to-door day job is now a thriving multi-million-dollar business.
To see her come from such humble beginnings, a little village in the Dominican Republic, no running water, no electricity, no school, and to see everything she's accomplished, it's amazing to me.
Maria's company is based in New Jersey, across the country from her son in San Diego. But Luis's appreciation for his mother is never far away. In an office full of reminders of her son, one speaks the loudest.
It says, "To my hero, my light, my inspiration. Thank you, I love you. It's priceless." That's what is important, that our children see in us what they can become and all they can accomplish.
5 miles away, another collection hangs in the hallways of Luis's high school. But this one is part celebration, part demonstration, with tales of a local kid done good and bad.
People hit obstacles in life, and it depends how you deal with these obstacles. Are you going to turn a negative into a positive? Are you going to own up to it? Are you going to make an excuse and try and make it go away? You know, how are you going to deal with it? So here's somebody who actually came up to a problem. This is how he dealt with it. Things are going well now for him, and he's not shying away from answering any questions about the mistake that was made.
Sidestepping is a foreign concept to Luis Castillo. Every accomplishment he has achieved and every mistake he has amended has been approached head-on. It's a way of life he owes to one person.
To think of everything she's been able to achieve and to see everything that my mother did to give me opportunities that she never imagined of. You don't realize it until you get older. You don't realize what it really did for you.
When you're poor, you have to work very hard to support yourself and your family. You appreciate everything you earn. Growing up that way was good for Luis. It was good for him to learn that with hard work and dedication and honesty, you can achieve anything in life.
She's the reason why I am a pro football player. She's the reason why I am graduated in economics at Northwestern University. She's the reason for everything I've accomplished. So I think she knows that.